Ready? Good evening, everyone. This is a call to order for the special meeting on November 18, 2022 at 7 o'clock. We'll turn this over to our secretary to do roll call.
Sure, thank you. Albert Benahan,
Present.
Michael Macaron,
Present.
Erica Castillo, Christine Baptiste Perez,
Present.
Sybil Allen,
Present.
Joseph Sokolovic,
Present.
Bobby Brown,
Present.
oh, and Joseph Lombard.
All right, thank you for everyone being here. This is to address the agenda item, discussion and possible action to begin the process of filling the vacant Board of Education seat left by Chairman John Weldon. At this moment, we're gonna have Mr. Sam, if you can just pull up the document. For those that are online, you'll be able to see it on the document, and then those that are here, there's a copy in front of everyone.
The word.
At one time, I had quite a few of them. I got rid of them. It's hard to store them. You have to pay for storage and, all that sort of stuff. So I have two left. Out of about 5 or 6, I think, I had. And everybody used to say, "Shame on you, killing your." I said, well, what about you eating meat?
Here we go.
There you go.
Here we go.
All right, so we have the document before us. Mr. Sokolovic went ahead and highlighted the areas in which would need to be changed. This was a previous one that we did for a member that's no longer a part. So his name is obviously, I believe, it's a advertisement for the position or the seat. So I hope everyone has had an opportunity to read it, but I'm going to open up the floor for discussion on areas of discussion of what we would like to change, anything that should stay the same, and we'll take it from there so that we can get it ready to move forward. So the floor is open. Mrs. Sokolovic?
Yeah, and I've been through this process a couple of times. We're starting off with a benefit because we have stuff that's already been approved by legal a couple of times. It's been used a few times throughout the process. The only thing that really needs to change is the dates. When do we want to, like the first date, December 1st, 2021 would have to be December 1st, 2023. And I guess the date of the election, I don't know when the election is.
For next year.
For next year, that would have to change to the election date next year. And the requirements, Democratic Party must change to Republican Party everywhere it appears. And this is something I was thinking about because it says such affiliation must be in effect for no less than 90 days as of the date of appointment of the board, with the exception of first-time voter registrants. And there's one more exception to that, is if an unaffiliated voter switches to a Republican, their rights vest immediately, as opposed to if they switch from Democrat to Republican, their rights don't vest for 90 days. So I don't know how we want to handle that language. And while we're on this subject here, last go around, this information was verified by Ms. Fage. So if we could possibly have the ask the superintendent to have
voter.
I forget the new lady's name. It's gonna take me a while.
Ms. Arlene.
Ms. Arlene to verify that, not just in the voter registrar lookup, because as soon as you change parties, it's in the voter registrar lookup. There's a voter history you could get from the registrar of voters for the last 90 days. It'll show you that they are indeed invested in their party with full rights of the party, which includes
Sam, can you go off?
service on the board.
Yeah. No, the other way.
Other way.
There. Whoop.
Voter history, okay.
And Also, I don't know if we want to take out the 2 committees.
To serve as members of 2 committees, what would be your suggestions?
Serve on committees, because not everybody's even serving on 2 committees, and we maybe want them to serve on more than 2 committees, or they may.
Or maybe I should say at least,
At least 2
or
committees.
at least 2 committees.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good.
So Joe, with that other exception going from unaffiliated to, in this case, Republican, you're saying that 90-day rule doesn't apply?
Correct. But see, that's why it wasn't really included in here before. But it's definitely worth mentioning, because if, like, for instance, you're a registered Democrat today, right? You switch to unaffiliated and then switch to Republican before you interview. That's a no-no, because they haven't been unaffiliated for 90 days.
Right.
So that's why it was never really included, is because the language is so clunky.
Maybe we could address it if it comes up, maybe? Leave it out, like it was left out? Or we could put the words out, we could come up with the words.
I'm thinking something like maybe
Because
vested with all rights of the party or something. But yeah, I see, this discussion had happened before, and it ended up the same way, but I guess we gotta keep it in mind.
But I also think too, if we're pulling the voter history, that also, to your point in the interview, if we notice that has been one of the changes based off the information we received, then we can call it out right then and there.
Right.
Instead of I don't want to confuse anyone that's reading this.
Right. See, the other side of that is also that I'm unaffiliated. I'm interested in the Board of Education. Just reading it as is gives me no hope of getting elected. I would be not elected, selected. But a seat.
let's read it again. Can you go up a little bit, please? I have it in front of me, but I want everyone to be able to see it. Okay, so it says right there, it says affiliated with the Republican Party will be considered, such affiliation must be in effect for not less than 90 days as of the date of appointment to the board, with the exception of first-time voter registered.
Who were not previously affiliated with another party.
That's what you want to be said.
How's that sound?
Say that again.
Who were not previously affiliated with another party within the last 90 days.
Yeah, that might work.
Okay.
If you want to spell it out, that might work.
You don't think that's too clunky?
And then when you say, but it's not just first-time voter, it's first-time Republican registrants, you know.
Correct. Except for the first time Republican. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, yeah, because this exception was only meant to catch the 18-year-old first registering, the 19-year-old people moving into town from somewhere else. So yeah, I guess first time Republican registrants.
But that's still you're
Yeah. So now it's getting clunky.
still that issue still.
Right.
So I think maybe we leave it out.
Because I don't see it working.
You know, because if it comes up,
Then we
you can
can
address it.
address it then, because we'll have the date, we'll have the information. But I get what you're trying to say, but I did feel like we're gonna take a deeper hole at trying to.
Does Baptiste Perez have any?
Yeah.
Let's
You might
open it up to everybody else. Maybe they got some suggestions.
Anyone online would like to share their thoughts on it? Mr. Benahan or Miss Baptiste Perez?
I'm driving
never
now.
She's driving.
But from what I'm hearing, what's so wrong with putting an asterisk somewhere in the language, and then below explain that if you are and have been affiliated as an independent and chooses, you can include an asterisk that just says if you're an independent, registered as independent, not affiliated with a party, then should you choose to affiliate with the Republican Party, you may apply to this role as well. We could just put an asterisk somewhere in the language and just slap that below so it doesn't muddy what's there. But I mean, you're reading it, you follow the asterisk below. Anyone that's an independent and is curious can look down, oh, I can apply as long as I switch to a Republican. I think that's the easiest way not to change the language that's there, but make it more clear if you're independent, because it doesn't sound like it's clear to it. And then, I mean, when it comes in with applicants, we'll just have to make sure we do our due diligence and
That's what I
check
said.
Make sure.
the
Yeah,
voter records to make sure someone didn't go Democrat, Independent, Republican.
Thank you.
I would see that as our job to make sure someone's not trying to game the system.
absolutely. I'm a Mr. Sokolovic.
Yeah, I like the asterisk idea 100%. Just one point of clarification. Independent is actually a registered party, so that would not work. They have to be not registered in any party. They'd have to be unaffiliated with a party. There's a whole list of unaffiliated. That's actually, I think that unaffiliated is one of the largest voting blocks in the city. Independents do have a registered party, so they would not be qualified at this point in time.
Maybe there's another way stating that not having been registered with any other party within 90 days. Because that example you gave where they were Democrat,
And
became
it's-
unaffiliated,
right.
and then switched, that could happen in 5 days or whatever. But if you just say not having any other party affiliation,
Within
Within
90
90
days.
Yeah, with
days.
the language within the asterisk.
something,
Yeah.
Asterisk.
the asterisk, asterisk,
Listen,
yeah,
you-
whatever it is, asterisk, yeah, something like that, you know.
Yeah.
What do we think about that?
And we'd have to get that run by,
Yep.
Right.
yeah.
So just I guess we just put an asterisk
Next
there,
to registrants.
right? And the language was,
Yeah, it's on the screen.
What
was
was
the
it?
first time voter includes, asterisk will be, includes unaffiliated voters, includes voters who were unaffiliated for 90 days prior to applying.
Right, something like that, that would capture that.
Okay, say it again.
There we go.
First time voter registrants,
Includes voters,
voters,
unaffiliated voters.
unaffiliated voters.
Including voters who were
Who have
unaffiliated.
not been registered with another political.
You already said, okay. First time,
See, I told you I couldn't say it again.
yeah, good thing, okay, first time voter registrants include unaffiliated voters.
Include voters who have been unaffiliated for at
Include
least
Right,
90
we
days
actually are saying,
prior to applying.
we are saying that, but this is to capture the unaffiliated voters as well, because they can go for it too.
Who have been unaffiliated for 90 days.
Prior to applying.
And prior to becoming Republican.
Yes,
Prior to becoming-
a Republican, yes, they must switch parties.
To be Republican.
And I believe this is probably the only piece of language that needs to be bounced off we could use the city attorney.
Yeah,
He or she could probably get a quick turnaround on this because it's not that cumbersome. It's not like the RFPs and all that other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But this is language that was already approved with the exception of that one sentence.
okay, so how does everyone feel about that?
So at that registrants, there'll be a period, an asterisk, and then that,
First
some,
time voter.
some phrasing that the attorney
Okay.
will approve will be at the bottom.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, I'm fine.
I'm okay with everything. We follow the policy and the protocol the way it is. I'm agree with you guys.
Okay.
I'm
Um,
okay.
Good. And then there was the other area that we want to talk about was Mr. Lombard suggested, instead of saying 2 committees, at least 2 committees. How does everyone feel about that? Instead of saying 2, just saying at least 2 committees?
I'm fine with that.
Can I say something? I don't have the ability to raise my hand while driving.
Oh, yeah, okay.
We have board members that don't serve at least one committee as leading or chairing. why would we ask for a new member coming in to serve on 2 committees? If we're gonna ask them to, if we're gonna put a limit, we would have to have those same limits on ourselves. And so I just don't think that language should be there because it's not realistic from how the
What-
board's been functioning in the past.
So if we remove that, what if instead we still mention committees? In other words, you could say individuals selected for this seat will be requested to serve on committees of the board.
Yeah.
Just to put it out there
Yeah,
and then not say 2 or 1 or any number.
So might as well
Thoughts?
say serve on committee and potentially chair a committee. We have a lot of committees that's not right now with no chair with John leaving.
what do we think?
I agree with
Uh,
Mr. Lombard. I am agree with what Mr. Lombard said, at least not say 2 committee, but see me be,
And as far,
be part of one of the committees or something.
Well, did you hear, Christine, did you hear out, Mr. Benahan? You gotta talk a little bit louder because she's driving.
You hear me, Ms. Bautista, what I say?
I just got out the car. I did. I heard you agreed with the at least 2. So
as far as the language for, and or chair, serving on a committee is inclusive of being a chair as well. So it could be just an understood when they're assigned, if this chair is
They're
open,
gonna
ask them
be-
if they want to be
Chair of it,
of the committee.
Mr. Benahan?
What I was thinking is right now, we don't, we are board members and we represent everything, so many things, and people are watching us, everything what we do. But for me, my opinion, that's my opinion. I respect everybody's opinion. If you will be in a board member and you're gonna come and, it's always good you'll be part of one of the committee, represent your Bridgeport School as as a board member. I understand some people, they cannot do it because, situation about maybe health, maybe the job, maybe they cannot do it, they don't have the time. But whoever come to be a board member have to think, and think very well that if you want to be part of the board of education of Bridgeport, you have to understand you have to be one committee, be part or be the chair. It's responsibility. So people they have to understand it. It's like you wanted this job, but this is your responsibility, to be part. I don't know how you can handle, we can fix it, but that's the way I feel.
Well, is it a requirement that board members are on committees?
It's not even a requirement to show up.
Right. So I don't think we should state it as a requirement. Instead, just say, we'll, but just to let them, I mean, you could remove the sentence altogether, and just not even mention it at all, or just to have it out there, you could say, will be requested to serve on a committee, just to have
How
some
about expected?
expected to serve on one or more
On
committees,
committees of-
on committees of the board. And you could say and potentially serve as chair, but I don't know if that's necessary or not of the committee. I don't know if that's necessary.
Like I say, it's not necessary, it's not mandatory, but think
They should
your
give it a-
position, you would come in, and if you want to be part of Bridgeport School, you care about the students and parents and everything, be sure you come and prepare what you're gonna do for, for the community. Like I say, and like you say, it's not mandatory, it's not something,
Right.
it's have to do it, but think you come in,
Expected to.
Exactly.
Expected to.
exactly.
So to clarify that language, if I may,
Mhm.
individuals selected for this seat will be expected to serve as a member
Of
of
committees.
committees of the board as assigned by the chairman.
That's
That's-
good.
Mhm.
That's
I'm
good.
cool with that.
Yeah.
You
Mr.
good?
Macaron, Ms. Baptiste Perez?
I'm fine. Sounds
Okay.
good.
All right.
All right, now there's dates I missed, how to apply. I missed the Wednesday, November 18th. That would have to be corrected to a new date and time. When do we want the application in by?
Yeah.
I say we give it maybe, what do you think about 10 days after the application goes out? And interviews followed
So
by,
10 days.
because we got a 30-day turnaround. We got plenty of time. 10 days after approval by the city attorney and 10 days after issuance of
Approval.
the application.
Then, school days,
Advertisement
No,
on.
no.
calendar day, okay. No, I'm just asking. 10 days.
You think 10 days is too much, too little?
I find too much.
I think that's doable.
I think that's fair,
Yeah.
because we have, how far are we in now? 4 days, 3 days?
Yeah,
in?
4 days.
So we have 26 days left?
Right, so you figure, yeah, we got the time. I think we got 10 days max. And all the applications will go to, instead of attention, Ms.
It'll
Rita
go to
Valerie Shasta.
Miss Arlene,
Ms. Arlene.
everything.
Is this,
just stay
do
the
we
same.
know if this email is still active?
I do not know if this email is still active, no. That I do not know.
Okay,
So I
so
have to
we,
check on that.
yeah, if it's not active, just create a new one.
Uh,
IT can help you out with that. Application,
Because of sometimes that email, it can be connected with another people and it's much better to create a new one. I just suggest that. So I don't know, Ms. Perry, you can find out, about that email.
and it is another date I missed as well, November 23rd.
So that's going to be our next board, whatever our next board meeting is, after the,
21st.
No, our next board,
21st.
is November 28th.
I mean, the
Sorry,
next board
28th.
meeting after the 10 days.
Yeah.
Okay,
Wait, hold up.
Hold up.
Can somebody check the math on that? Is that for
Check what?
the math? We might have to do it.
So whenever, we have to get
We
it.
gotta get in under the 30 days, and I think maybe the December meeting will fall outside that period.
When this gonna go out? That's my question. So we can
Right,
start.
so it has to be reviewed by legal and then go out.
And we don't know what,
I don't know when that's going to be.
yeah.
And then 10 days from that is when they're due by.
When is
They're due by.
I see you, Miss Baptiste Perez.
12, 20. When's the
And like
meeting?
the main thing you need to pay attention to is not say we have time, but what is the deadline? The deadline is December 14th.
December
26
14th.
days, 26 days from today is December 14th.
And we have a meeting on the 12th, on that Monday.
Mhm.
14th is,
So that'll work.
that'll work. Yep.
Okay, thank you.
So that will be the date.
So December 12th,
December 12th.
2022.
That would be the day
Three.
of what?
The date
Two.
for the public meeting.
I'm so confused. 22.
So
Isn't,
10
Mike,
Go ahead, Mr.
Is-
Macaron.
Isn't that the organizational meeting, date, December 12th?
Might be.
yes, it is.
Yes.
But, man,
Sure, I'm gonna give the floor.
Right.
Go ahead.
yeah, the organizational meeting is a separate meeting from the regular meeting, and the regular meeting takes place just after the organizational meeting.
Correct.
Okay. All
And that
right,
can be
thank
an
you.
agenda item. You're welcome.
All right, so let's run it back. So it's December 12th. Monday, December 12th, 2022.
Yes,
It's gonna be for the public.
Mm-hmm.
it's a regular board meeting.
And we need to get rid of that line that the interviews will be conducted remotely via Teams event.
Because that was during the
Right,
break.
yeah. I mean,
Are we sure? Are we sure? we
I'm
want
absolutely
to?
positive if we have somebody who cannot get away from their
Then we.
business to get on this board, we're gonna have trouble getting them to show up to meetings at all. So
But
they must be in person.
I think I disagree with that only because we host our meetings both ways, and I don't want to. You can't limit someone if that meeting time is their only time they can come out. I don't think you should. This is my opinion, but I don't know.
Personally, I disagree because this is a commitment. You gotta be willing to make the commitment. If you can't make it, you gotta know, because sometimes,
Oh,
I mean,
I respect it, Miss Baptiste Perez.
I just wanted clarification. My dog started barking. We're talking about interviewing candidates and whether we should do it in person or via Zoom. I mean,
Yeah.
via Teams.
Yes.
From
It's
the board
my-
meeting.
Wait, someone
Go
had
ahead.
just,
Oh, I'm sorry, I was just saying, we'll be in a regular board meeting
Oh, never mind then.
and we'll be interviewing. Is
Right.
that correct, Joe?
No.
yes.
Yes. So then I take it back. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I don't have a question.
Should move the question.
Okay, can you repeat that? Confused board meeting, we're going to review, go back, please.
Right, we just,
Very-
line, you got a copy of the highlighted?
Yeah, he has it.
Yes,
Interviews will be conducted via Teams, just strike that. Interviews will take place at the
No, I understand everything
Just
is
strike
clear.
it.
I'm just saying, more clarified because I can read this, but some people, parents, maybe don't understand it much more,
They-
point more clear. So, but it's gonna be,
Right. So the point is, if you're applying for the Board of Education position,
It should
there
be
will
in
be an
per- yeah.
interview in person at the board meeting, at the
Okay.
public board meeting.
and the date is,
See you face to face. They can read your bio.
good, and the day is
That's
agree.
December 12th.
December 12th, okay, 2022, okay.
Okay, cool.
I know, I'm thinking of how they did it
Yeah.
a couple years ago. That's what I
Right,
was
yeah, well-
thinking. No, that's.
Yeah, I remember years ago, yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, never mind. I take it back.
Yeah.
Remember that with all of them on the screen?
And then, another date on the back page.
And then turn it over.
Yeah, a lot of options.
It should be,
Just
it should be just December
December
the 12th.
I asked about the office. You said if they need to, they could also get it themselves. And the
On
date
that
on that
date
changed to the same date of the board
December
meeting
12th.
where they're going to be selected.
And
And I
then,
believe that's it as far as changes
yeah,
to the document that we got to file this. Now, last time when we did this, we posted it to the board website. Our friends at the CT Post picked it up.
yes.
And on Only in Bridgeport also picked it up, and we could also share it on our website, on our Facebook pages and circulate it around. I don't think we need to incur any expenses to advertise anywhere for this.
No, because I feel like those ones that you mentioned are pretty good at putting the word out. Anyone have any thoughts about where this should be placed based off of what Mr. Sakamoto said?
I'll just share my personal experience. So if you want to share it with this organization also, I was notified by Lee. That's how I found out.
By who?
Leadership and Educational Equity. They're a offshoot of Teach for America, and they put it out to all of Connecticut. That's how I found out.
And also, I don't think cable charge us either. Would they? I doubtful.
To put it,
To put it on.
And he puts it on our website too.
Right. And
okay.
So I mean, I could contact someone at least, see if they want to do it. So, sure they would, but
Yeah, everybody should be reaching out to their networks and
Yeah.
advertising it as much as possible.
You already know, Bush.
so yeah, whenever the final version is approved, you could just shoot it out to us and then I could share it with whoever I can share it with.
And resume collection. Oh, applications.
Applications goes to Miss.
Applications. Did we put
should be
it's resumes and letters of interest? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And then that should be in the portal.
We don't have that date yet. Because it's.
That date.
It's advertised.
Yes.
Castillo, she's on the line.
Let us recognize Ms. Castillo for joining the board meeting.
Hi, thank you.
Problem, Ms. Allen, you haven't spoken, so I didn't know if you wanted to add anything to.
No, I'm just listening and evaluating and just taking all the things in because I've been here and done a lot of this. and
Got it.
so, Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Anyone has any other questions? We covered dates, we covered language, and we covered pretty much the process of where this will go out once we have it approved.
I would,
Go ahead.
I would just say that whatever the date it's posted, that if 10 days from then is a Saturday or Sunday, we bump it out to the Monday. So, because we're saying here, applicants must be received by 4:00 on such and such date. And we've decided that date will be 10 days from whenever we get it posted.
Posted.
So we have to make sure on the calendar, it's not a Saturday or a Sunday.
So long as that date is not bumped too far. Like if it's a Saturday before the meeting, God forbid, something goes wrong with the time.
Oh, well, that would be something else, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So then we'll take the resumes on a weekend and just review them and
Right.
be ready for Monday's meeting.
But do you think we should otherwise put it out to a weekday?
Yeah, I think that's fair, pretty fair.
Yeah. And then my other thing is just, so then the resumes would be distributed to us just at some
In the
point prior in the portal,
Yeah, in the portal, so then everyone will have access,
for time to see it.
and enough time to review them.
And let's talk about the process of selecting and voting for. Is everybody familiar with how we have done it in the past? We,
Please share.
everybody, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, did she have a question or?
Ms. Castillo?
No, I said, no, I'm not. Please share.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so it's somewhat like the interview process for hiring superintendents, principals, and all that. We each get to ask a question. We formulate our own question. It's got to be the same question to every board member. They get the option of demanding an interview in public, but it could also be executive session, but we would have to vote for executive session, which, I'm not going to do that. We should have all these in public. And then unlike a personnel search, we do not have to have score sheets, because we could just have somebody and just don't like
And just.
their attitude, and they just made a face when we asked them a certain questions, like, then we discuss that amongst ourselves in executive session or whatever have you before we decide. And we don't have to justify why we do or do not want a certain individual to serve on this board, because it's a privilege, not a right.
Thank goodness.
And also, I can't remember, did we, before we voted, did we meet in executive session ourselves? I don't recall.
Well, we have in the past and before, but I don't know if everybody's comfortable debating in person. See, I don't like executive session per se for anything, but when we're debating the pros and cons of people's resumes and their desirability to serve or to have a job, those things are best happen behind closed doors.
Mm-hmm. Listen to this is Joe saying this.
Listen, I'm looking at him like, what?
No, because you remember you missed those personnel meetings. I forced like 4 or 5 principal interviews in person, but we debated them in private.
Mm-hmm.
Right, okay.
So interviews in public.
But you're saying they can request it to be in it?
But it has to be voted on.
No, but we could say, see, this is how some people get confused sometimes. We could demand it goes into executive session. I mean, we could call for an executive session, and then they could say no. It might be in public because it's a public offer. Right. But we're not going to call for executive session. But that very rarely happens. They cannot adversely say, I want this in executive session.
All right, yeah.
Compel us to vote.
No reason for the interview to be.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
And that would be a red flag right away from me anyway. It'd be like, bye-bye.
No.
Okay.
So then basically, this will be where on the agenda for the meeting would this appear? The interviews?
I don't know. What do you think? Yeah, it could basically go anywhere.
New business.
But yeah, it would be new business.
New business.
Yeah, definitely new business. And maybe for the very first item.
That way they could be on the rest of the
Yeah.
meeting.
Stay for the rest of the
They
meeting.
want to be in the meeting, yeah.
Mhm.
And if we could find, well, we wouldn't know who it is yet, but we could offer. I guess we wouldn't have to have a separate item for swearing them in. We could just do that on the spot. It could be on this.
Yeah, we did on the spot.
Yeah.
I went behind a curtain.
And then came right back out.
Came right back out and sat down for the meeting.
And I think I think I covered all the bases and
So, I guess I want to just ask Ms. Perrin, is there any questions that you may have on what role the office has in this?
I think I understand it, but I'll go over it for you. You could tell me if I understand it.
Okay.
So I could hear a little bit, please.
Sure.
Thank you.
What I said was, I think I understand what the role of the superintendent's office has in it, but I'm going to repeat it and she can correct me if I've missed anything.
Oh, the whole board, because
Well, yes, well, all of you, yes. So specifically, one of the things is that Miss Arlene is going to be responsible for receiving the letter of interest and resumes. They will all come to her, and she will be responsible for uploading in the portal. Also, in regards to that piece, I'm going to be responsible for finding out if this board search email is still active. I know that Mr. Benningham mentioned that he would prefer that we create a new one to be able to receive it just in case someone else still has access to that information. So we'll have that. Also, part of our responsibilities is to make sure that the actual posting for the board member is on specify websites, as far as the city website, the board website, Facebook pages. I heard lead as well as CABE. And then one of the things I put as a question mark is possibly CAPS, because they work in collaboration with CAP as well. Let's see. Resumes will be put in the portal for easy access. I know that oftentimes Ms. Allen gets things delivered. Is that still
Yes.
the same protocol?
Please do that.
Okay, so I wrote that down as well. And then I just wrote down other information. I don't know if I missed anything. Anybody, please correct me.
Sounds,
One major thing, one thing is verification of the voter.
yes.
Oh, yes,
History.
I wrote that on this page, which is voter verification of the registry as well as the voter history.
Correct.
Mhm.
And that's not just going straight into because you could do CT voter lookup and it'll tell you what party they are, but it won't give you how long they've been registered.
Does that also kind of de facto take care of residency? Because if they're not registered.
Then,
Right, yeah.
yeah.
Wouldn't be able to get that.
Right.
So this is in Word document and all we have to do is just update this? Or does the city
Yeah.
attorney upstate? That's
Yeah.
my other question.
Yeah, I got that. I sent you the word, Ms. Parent. It says
So
you
Ms.
can-
Perrin
you
will
don't have to
update it.
retype. You don't have to retype everything. You
Just,
edit it
okay. With the added language.
with the added language and just maybe asterisk everything that's. Oh wait, what about our asterisk? The asterisk on the bottom.
Yeah,
He's got the city attorney got to review. Got to
review
just
it.
review that and approve it. And then as soon as he does so, I guess we as the board are authorizing you to
Post it.
post it.
Okay.
I think we might need a motion to that effect.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Oh, wait, hold on, Mr. Benahan?
Joe, I want to go back where you said, to be clarified, if the person, apply for it, you said they can ask for a second section. So we can, about I don't want to be sure, but,
They're of us.
Huh?
They cannot
cannot
demand
get
it of
asked.
us.
oh, okay,
They can't say I want
I
to.
want to, okay.
We say no, they can't say we say yes.
They
But
go
if we say,
Public.
Oh, it's public, okay, so they ask, okay, but the person, when they apply for it, it's possible they can be in the website, wherever, just in case somebody asks, they want to, do a secret session, so before apply, they can see if you ask for a secret session, we are not, allowed, something, something writing, I don't know.
I don't think an application has to be,
No.
but
Not,
But now that we bring the subject up again, the other side of the coin is people always have the rationale. I don't like the rationale because it's kind of, if you do your research, you're going to know the interview types of questions that are going to be asked anyway. The second person going is going to hear the questions we asked the first person and have a couple of minutes to prepare.
That happened to me.
I did it too.
No, I'm saying, because I gave a one-word answer to a 3-minute question. And there was a lot of laughter in the room. And then the next candidate gave the same answer, my same one-word answer.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, you stole that from me.
Yeah, but I don't think it's that critical.
I'm just saying this because I know some people, maybe they don't understand maybe the process, or maybe they think, no, I can be a secret session. I don't need to give in the information, by myself, what the reason I apply for or the question. That's what I'm saying, because sometimes they always, like you said, someone come with a negative or something. And it's very important that person who ever applied, they understand this is public. We are public. We have nothing to hide with transparency, because, we elected, for us, for the people.
So to that point, are we looking, do we want to add it? How do we want to? I feel like it's a no-brainer, but.
Yeah, because it says, wait, where's the thing that says? Hold on.
But I'm like-
It might already be there.
I don't think it's there.
It doesn't talk about it when we.
No, it doesn't.
I'm just saying, but if you want to keep going, the way it is, I'm fine. I'm just saying, just in case someone come and say, no, I want second session,
So how about this?
We can
to
add it
clarify
to
that? On the last paragraph on the bottom, under the email address, applicants should plan to make themselves available to attend. Strike and add a public interview session.
That'll work.
That'll work.
No, it says it already, to be held in public with the board. Says it already.
It says, well, but that just talks about this vote. That-
No, right here. It says, make themselves available to attend an interview session to be held in public with the board. It's already addressed.
Oh, yeah, you're right, you're
Oh,
right.
yeah, so then it's
Oh, never
clear.
mind. Yeah, it's clear.
It says
Okay,
it.
I'm sorry, apologize.
No worries. It's better than that, better look for it now and that's.
So my other question too is, I don't think I was familiar with the questions that you guys had, that John had. Is there a set of questions? Are we still one?
We always have, whenever we interview anybody, we have the right to make our own questions.
Okay, so that would be my other thing. So everyone will be required,
Right.
how many questions?
One
One
question.
question,
each.
so one question per person.
Yeah.
And
Okay,
you gotta ask the same question
To
to
each candidate.
got it.
Yeah.
Everybody understand?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
Okay.
No, Ms. Bautista had hand up, but she.
Ms. Baptista Perez, did you have a question or a comment?
Mr. Lombard pointed it out that it was already mentioned and it should be held in public. The language was already there.
Okay, thank you. So I believe that's it. I believe you wanted to,
And I move that we instruct the superintendent to carry out the instructions of, why do I always do this? Instruct the superintendent to have an advertisement placed on the board website after
legally approved.
legal approval as edited this evening.
So say it again,
The whole thing.
Sorry, just say it again. She was a little
Okay,
choppy.
I get it. All right, I'm getting real rusty. I move that we instruct the superintendent to have placed on the board website the solicitation for a new board member to fill John Wilden's vacancy after edits and approval by the legal department of the city of Bridgeport.
So move.
Second.
Okay, it's been proper. Hold on, we didn't hear you.
I want to make a motion to amend it.
Okay.
What was said and not limit it to just our school website, but to all of the Bridgeport Board of Education social media platforms. So,
Second.
And Kate. And
It's
can I get
been
those?
second. So now we have to
vote on the amendment.
vote on amendment. So
Or discuss, I don't need discussion.
any discussion before we vote on the amendment? Hearing none.
Posting, I'm sorry. I had a question. Are we also posting on external sites as well, like what Mr. Lombard mentioned earlier with Lee? Are we doing that? Are we going that route, or are we just keeping it
And-
on Board of Ed sites for now?
Like it post and.
No, it's everywhere.
Everywhere free.
It's all of the places that were mentioned.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so now we are voting on the amendment. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Hearing none, motion carries. Now we vote on
The main motion
the main
as
motion
amended.
as amended. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Hearing none, motion carries. All right? We're all set, so I will entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting.
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed?
Have a good weekend, everybody.
All right.
Good night,
Have a
everybody.
nice weekend.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Sam. Thank you,
Thank you,
Ms.
Bobby.
Perez.
And I'll see you.